Hello, my name is Artsy Sister, and today I wanted to, like I recently figured out all of the soul skin, you know, like demon swords and dark souls 1, 2, 3. So then I wanted to tell you about like the bosses that I struggle with a lot throughout the entire series. So we're gonna be starting with demon swords, the hardest bosses in demon souls. The first one that I want to mention is the Maneater. It's a 2-on-1 because it's more than one Maneater, and like the difficulty about this boss fight is not so much the monster itself, but the fact that you're fighting on a very small platform, and he does a lot of moves that pushes you off the platform. So anyone who's there from somewhere knows that if you fall, you're dead. So then it's a very cheap boss, very annoying. The next one is of course the final boss of Demon Souls, King Allant. Everyone who's ever won Demon Souls knows how annoying it is to fight this guy, and then you can grab at him and then he permanently steals one of your levels. And then he does it randomly, so it's not the last level that you get. It could be any of the levels that you got. So if during the fight he steals your carry weight level, you're dead. That's it. You're gonna be fat rolling throughout the rest of the match. So if you're fighting King Allant, it makes sense to have 2 points higher of carry weight, just in case the level that he decides to steal is the carry weight level. So that's my advice for it. Oh, and also use like a very fast sword, because you're gonna be because even if the battle lasts longer, using like a fast sword, it's better to do it right the first time than to get stuck in him like forever. Oh, and another one from Demon Souls is the Penetrator. Oh man, what a name for a demon. Oh, can you guess what it's all about? Like the different variations of him that show out from Dark Souls 1. He also shows out like a different version of him as Maneater.This, and then Maneater.This is a similar entrance to the Penetrator, and so those Slave Nakael. That he just like grabs a guy and then he throws it at you as a power flex. So this was more of a skill-based boss. So because Demon Souls is separated between gimmick boxes, he has a healthy mix of gimmick boxes, arena boxes, and of course skill one. And since this one is a more skill one, if you're too used to just winning by gimmick, it's gonna give you a difficult time. And plus, if you find like depending on when you run into him, you may be like ridiculously on the level to deal with this guy. So he's the guy that forces you to backtrack and get all of the stuff in order to keep moving forward in the game. It wasn't an optional one, right? Yeah. So it's not as if you can like skip him. Alright, we're officially now moving to Dark Souls 1, and the boss has always gives me a hard time, regardless of any of my builds. Is the 4 Kings, and the Yogos and Beanies has 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, because the 4 Kings are programmed in such a way that they always have to be 4 Kings on screen. So if you kill one and then you take forever to kill the other one, another one, then a new one spawns in display. So depending on how little damage you're doing, you can easily end up killing 6, 7, and 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 Kings. And another thing that's annoying, other than them respawning a hell of a lot, the thing that's annoying about them is that since the arena is complete dark, you have a very hard time knowing the distance between you and the monster. So it's very hard to know whether you're within range of his attacks or whether how close or how far away you are from it. And that makes it difficult. It's a very disorienting boss, and there's a reason why they haven't done an arena where it's in complete darkness, where you don't know where it's left, right, or out. And of course, I have already mentioned the one and only Maneater.This. I never got how to fight Maneater.This. I always had to storm her. Every time I had to storm Maneater.This, it's just a very difficult boss. It's just a very difficult boss that is always on you, and the reflex to dodge it, so that's when you want a shield that has good stability to block some of the attacks. And also, like Nagatori, his moveset is actually inspired from Berserk. The gods, to be more specific, when he finally gets the Berserk armor for the first time, when it amplifies his physical strength, and the first thing that he does is the rolling slash. So yeah, Nagatori is a reference to the mind of Berserk. So that's a hilarious factoid. But then again, a lot of Dark Souls and of course we got Calamite. That's a really cool name. Like this battle can either go like there's a way to like cheese him if you kind of like shoot him while he's flying over the waterfall, and then it's really his falling animation, and then he dies by falling off screen. But if you want to like fight him legitly, you need to like get this giant guy's hook to shoot Calamite down from the sky for you, and then you find him while Calamite's on the floor. But even though he's like on the floor, he can still like fly around, and Calamite has like this really cheap attack that he sometimes uses, and sometimes he doesn't, where he just completely, he levitates your player, and then he does using his creepy red eye, and then he like does some heavy damage, and then it gives you a permanent debuff for the rest of the battle. So it's usually a death sentence. His next attack. And I can't tell you watch out for that attack, because how do you watch out for an attack that's like a weird AoE that just lifts you up? I mean, you can be in the tail of Calamite, and then when he decides to activate the attack, you show up right in front of his face, and then it triggers that animation. So the only advice I can give you to dealing with that annoying attack is get lucky. Get lucky that he doesn't hit you with it. Okay, so we're now in Dark Souls 2. Like, one of the Dark Souls 2 bosses, the one that I like when I was like in my most recent, like in the live stream I did of Dark Souls 2. Oh my god, I cannot tell you how many times I lost against the blue smelter demon. It's not just that, like, among the annoying things is that you first have to fight through a goblet or one of his mountains just to get this. So it's not as if in Elden Ring that they put a bonfire right next to the boss fight, which gives you the opportunity to try the boss as many times as you want in order to get good at him. No. It takes you like 10 minutes before you get back to him every time you do. So you lose the adrenaline of fighting the blue smelter or the blue smelter demon. Like, he has like a lot of wild attacks. It's a very and a lot of AoE. Just most importantly, a ridiculous amount of HP. And the only thing it's weak to is poison, kind of, but it takes forever for poison to stack. And since he has such a high HP bar, he might as well not be weak to them. Because by the time that poison does his thing, you're gonna be dead. So just like get ready for a really, really long battle and a test of patience. Like, I remember one of my friends told me that like, it's been 50 hours just starting at the blue smelter. But yeah, before I got eventually managed to kill the blue smelter, I had lost to PC guys. I have like an entire stream of just me that guy over and over until I finally got him. Alright, so this one is Lud and Zallen, also from Dark Souls 2. The annoying thing about these two, like, it's another one of those bosses that is 2 in 1 that you gotta deal with. Like, one of the tigers, the bosses themselves are a little bit problematic, but thankfully they give you help to deal with them. That's but then when you kill one of them, or even you don't even have to kill one of them, one of those tigers goes into like a rage mode, and then for 5 minutes, not a slow amount, for like 5 minutes he gets double strength and double defense. So you just have to sit there and endure it, carefully dodging. But the biggest problem with this boss is the same problem as the smelter demon, but times a million. Is the expulsion chamber. You have to walk miles and miles and miles of snow. And dealing with like infinite respawning lightning horses that like show up and disorient you whenever like the snow picks up. So then just getting to them, just getting to them is almost impossible. And in the meantime, the helpers that you summon to help you go deal with the dogs are getting like cremated by the stupid lightning horses that show up every time the horses pop up. And if you say that you can kill all of the lightning horses, no. Like people have data mined the explosion chamber, and the horses respawn infinitely whenever there's no big stuff. So you are always gonna be dealing with the stupid horse problems. Now we're finally out to Darcel's tree. And I always have a hard time with the Boreal dancer, and like in my last stream I had to fight her alone, and like, oh my god, it's just one long running intense battle, just careful dodges, and like getting a couple of hits in there once in a blue moon, and like there's just no trick to it. This is a perfect battle. With the Boreal dancer you just gotta get good, or get a lot of internet friends to help you. But if you're like fighting her alone, then the only way that can do is get good and get in there. No, because like once you get to the second stage, she starts doing like a lot of front attacks. So it's not as if you're going. So it's not as if you're in jump attacks and run attacks. So it's not as if you're gonna be able to cheese her by magic from far away, because the arena is a little too small for you to be run halfway across the screen to like try to cheese her with magic. The only way it's easier to cheese her with magic is if you're like fighting her with a helper, and not a computer helper, because like very early in the start of the game you can fight her early with a swordsman guy, but he usually loses to the Boreal dancer like immediately, so he might as well not be there at all. It's a very tough punishing boss. And then we have the Nameless team. This is like of Darcel's Street, this is like the only boss I haven't been able to beat by myself. I always require like at least one internet helper to help make this fight feasible. Yes, they give it more speed the more helpers you have, but it helps to have the monster's attention divided. While one of them is like dodging around, like trying to get the attention, the other one gives it like a backslash or two. And this is another one, once you get past this bird, this is another one of those that is more skill, that is a skill based boss. And since it's very similar, it's gonna be difficult for you to cheese him with magic, because you start using magic on him, and then he just does like a ridiculously fast forward thrust with him. By the time his thrust attack is faster than you can, because when you start using magic, you're extremely vulnerable if you don't have like fast cast. So by the time you lower your wand or raise your shield or dodge right out of the way, then the monster's gonna be right on you. The next one is the Sword of Cinder, which is the final boss of Darcel's Tree. And that one, well, obviously it's the final boss. So like they wanted to rectify the whole thing that Darcel's two final bosses were like a bit of a meh experience. And this one is more like a summary of what everything of all of your entire journey in Darcel. Because throughout the battle, in the beginning he starts switching between all his form, going from magic to the steroid dashboard form. And the longer you take, the more problematic it's gonna be, because he eventually starts using like some ridiculously powerful magic, like that blue magic laser beam. So don't take your time with it. And then in the second half, he starts doing the moveset of other bosses, more specifically the Lord Wind, Lord of Cinder, that he does his jump attack. But anyone who plays Dark Souls 1 knows that you just dodge under it, and then that gives you the opportunity to give like one or two good hits in there. So you want him to jump at you, but always like be careful when he starts winding up to that attack, because that's that attack, if you don't have like high fire defense, is the one he kills. So yeah, my advice for this one is high fire. Get like a lot of fire defense, because that's the only thing he does most of the time, just fire. When he does magic, it's usually increase his speed, and then that was the weapon that I used for that battle, and that was the annoying thing, just making a weapon just for this guy specific. And the rest is just an exercise in patience and hoping to get lucky. You also gotta do like the side quests on laps, so that way you have at least 2 helpers to deal with him, because with just one you're not gonna be able to endure the battle. Yeah, and even with the proper weapon to fight him, at least expect to be fighting him for like 7 minutes, which is a long time as far as the Dark Souls bosses are concerned. Oh, I mean, the magic thing is that then again, it doesn't do anything on it. Well, then again, the magic in Dark Souls 3 is just awful. Like, not for the monsters, but for your magic sucks. And I think that's the last one, yeah. And that's the thing. I think we have Sister Friede and the other, like, Sister Friede, the problem with her is that it's a boss fight that doesn't end ever. Like, first you fight her, and most of the time she's like, and whatever she and most of the Sister Friede, her moveset, it says that even though she's using a side, the way that she moves around is in her speed is very similar to Lady Maria of the Astral Tower. So it's basically a Bloodborne boss in a Dark Souls 3 game because of how swift she moves. But what that also means is that you can stun lock her, but not usually for a couple of moves, but she usually like pulls out of it whenever she starts getting a lot of damage. Yeah. And then she does that invisibility move, which is like super annoying. And then the second half is when your computer helper, Slave Knight Gaia, actually shows up to win. But then you're fighting her and her father. So what I meant is that you go like I ended up having to solo her and just fighting her over and over again with a flame sword until I actually managed to defeat her. Like, this is another one of those get good type of bosses that there's no easy strategy for it. Oh yeah, but at least in the second half, whenever she goes invisible, she does a lot of she may be invisible to you, but the Slave Knight Gaia, the computer NPC can actually see her. So if you don't know where the hell she teleported to, just look at where the computer's looking at, and then that's usually the direction that you have to go. And that's also useful like in the 3rd stage of this boss, because this boss has 3 stages, because after you defeat her and her father, then you have to fight her again, but she uses darkness. But yeah, it's just that's the biggest difficulty of this boss, is that this boss battle never ends.
She also has a gimmick where if you get hit by her eyes and then you get hit by the fire, it resets your eye style, which makes you weak twice again.
Yeah, so then both of them can expand you with eyes effect, definitely. Like what I do with like the big guy is that you have to have the controller have the vibration on, because the closer that the father gets to you, the stronger the vibrations you feel in the controller. So then you can be focusing on her while knowing how close or how far away this guy really is. So that's how I ended up fighting him, by just feeling the vibrations of where the big guy was at. Because you can only focus on one of those 2 at a time, and if you try to focus on both, you're just gonna be losing track of it. So then you just gotta have faith that the computer NPC is gonna be able to hang in there. And also try to clear the second half quickly, because you're gonna need the computer helper to like help you defeat the Sister Friede level 3. And then once she gets darkness into her soul, that's when she's gonna like start really getting the damage in there. And also like her move, the arc of her attacks of darkness, and even the way she jumps, it's also very, even though she Souls 3 playthrough and even Dark Souls 2. The shield was just there to provide me stamina regeneration. I didn't use it, I rarely use it to block because most of the shields just like barely block anything. So it's just better to just two-hand any weapon, even if it's just a spracer, in order to gain a little extra damage so that the battle goes by a lot quicker. So I hope you have fun with that video about Dark Souls 2, about the hardest bosses from like the Souls series. Let me see. Yeah, that was the last one. Bye bye. God bless.